What's good, YouTube? My name is Mark. Oh, okay. That's
And
how we
I'm
start.
Sister Soldier. No, and I'm Alexis.
It's our YouTube channel called The
Couples
Couples Corner.
Corner.
Today's video is going to be talking about the Judas and the Black Messiah. It's going to
Do
be
it.
our first review.
Do it. Wakanda. Forever. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be about Judas and the Messiah.
The Black Messiah.
The Black Messiah, sorry. We also listened to the album, so this is our first time doing a review on a movie and
The
the
soundtrack.
soundtrack. So, but before we get into it, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so when you get that notification, you'll be able to know when we drop a video. All right, so do you want to start with the movie or do you want to start with the soundtrack? Do you want to start light and then dark or dark and then light?
I guess you could start. I guess start with the soundtrack because we listened to that first.
Okay. Oh yeah, and also spoilers.
So if you haven't seen it, just turn it off right now.
Yeah. Because we're gonna give you some spoilers. We're not gonna try to give you too much of the movie, but we're gonna give you scenes that caught our eye, and try to give a little bit. Just give our thoughts on those scenes. You said the music, right? All right. So,
You want me to pull it up?
you can if you want. I'll go first because I have a list. When I first heard about the soundtrack, I saw that Nipsey and Jay had a song. And I'm like, okay, seems interesting. And then I saw the track list, and I wasn't sure at first. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Because you didn't know a lot of them, the people.
Yeah, but I knew like Nas, JID, Rhapsody, Her, Black Thought. I've heard of G Herbo, but I've never heard of his. I never listened to his music. Not of this. I just haven't tried to give it a listen. And other artists as well. Sir as well. So I listened to it Friday morning, and I sent Alexis. The first song I sent Alexis was the "Fight for You" record, which basically is the first song on the soundtrack. I really love how that song
set the tone
sets the tone for the
yeah.
whole album. It was just a great song. It just kind of puts you back in that time. It was kind of modern, but the feel gave you that 60s, 70s type vibe. But yeah, that Jay and Nip track, for some reason, it's just like when Jay's in that bag, when it comes to talking about barring up with anybody, to me, he's the GOAT. But other people have their opinions on who's their GOAT as far as greatest of all time. But it's just the way he just ripped that track and the way Nipsey just set it up for him. I'm not sure how that track came about. Rest in peace to Nip. I'm not sure how that track came about, but you could tell that was a more recent track because he did speak about the Capitol riots. He did speak about him opening up his own marijuana selling.
So when do you think Nipsey did the track?
Nah, I don't know.
Just like a random.
I don't know when he did the track, but
you think it was just his verse, and then Jay-Z just was like, they just asked him Jay-Z to be on it?
I think so.
Whoever did the production of the stuff.
That's what I think. That's what it seemed like. But I did definitely enjoy that album. The EPMD track by Nas, I really enjoyed that track. Nas, he's one of the greatest. It's just like he has certain knocks, but as far as beat selection, but other than that,
if he would have used beats like this, he would have been. Cause this beat, I was like, see, that's the Nas, and that's why I guess. People say Nas is boring, and I feel like if you're not a conscious person or a woke person, you're not going to hear it all the time. And yeah, I know he does talk about it a lot, but also a person is going to attract to your song when they like the beat of your song. And I realized that because a lot of times now all people care about is beats. You know, people don't really care about lyrics, so it's kind of like that attracts me to a song 1st. And when I heard this song, I was like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. No, it's like it was like I was like, yeah, I'm fucking with it. Really, the whole soundtrack, and it was 22 songs, and I actually 20 because 2 of them was like interludes or whatever, but it was 20 songs, and it's pretty much a straight listen. Like the song, like we heard the soundtrack before we saw the movie, so it kind of sets the tone of what the movie is about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, it's a good representation to give you a visual of what you know, your auditory is your hearing, and it's like making you visualize, okay, what the movie gonna be about. So it kind of, the whole soundtrack set the tone for the movie, and it was, I give it an A+.
Yeah, 'cause, we had. I'm just gonna run down the tracks now. It's Welcome to America by Black Thought, C.S. Armstrong, and I forgot who else. Something Ain't Right, JID, Rhapsody, and I don't want to mess up the person's name, Miss Masigo. Masiago.
Masego? I think it's Masego.
Then I had Letter to You by BJ, The Chicago Kid, Teach Me by Sir, All Black by G Herbo, Rich Nigga Problems, ASAP Rocky, Black Messiah, Rakim, and then I knew that Hit Boy rap, but I didn't really listen to him rap on a song before. And Broad Day, I was like, okay, I see he can rhyme. So I really enjoyed, basically, like she said, the whole album. I listened to it front to back twice, back to back, and like really, I didn't really have a skip to the album. So I do give it, I give it an A, by A plus. As far as a great listen, and this is how a soundtrack's supposed to sound. It's supposed to be great, and whoever executive produced it did a really great job on the soundtrack. So, did you have any standout tracks?
Most of the ones you said.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So pretty much the same list. Pretty much same list. But yeah, so we enjoyed it, and we don't really have much to say. It was a great listen. Do you want to go to the movie?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, so the Judas and the Black Messiah movie, we just saw it. So this is our
we literally just turned it off like 15 minutes ago.
So this is our raw take on the movie.
So what happened was, I'm sorry, were you gonna start?
No.
Okay. What happened was, I read the story, not the movie story, but I read the story of the person the movie was about so I could get a visual of what was gonna happen. And let's just say it's a fucked up story because, you know, I know a little bit about the Black Panther Party, whatever, but what they don't tell you is they try to make it seem like they were so violent, you know, like
the KKK.
Yeah, and my thing is, we really just wanted equality, you know, we was just for our people. And my thing is, whenever you challenge somebody else, I'm not gonna say who, whenever you challenge or they feel threatened or something, all of a sudden, you know, we're the threat when they're really the threat, and that kind of pisses me off because you want to say we're violent and we're you know, we doing all this shit, but my thing is, what caused it? What did you do to cause it? Are we just doing it for nothing, or did you do something to make us like that? That's my thing. My whole thing is, you cannot sit up here and say, oh, y'all just be minding y'all business, and then all of a sudden we just want to rob y'all, we just want to kill y'all, we just want to do something to y'all. No. Most of the time, 98.9 whatever % of the time, we was minding our business and y'all did something to us. So I said all that to say, we really just wanted our people to be treated like humans. Like, why we gotta be fucking treated like animals? You know what I'm saying? Like, But I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna let him go, and then I'm gonna go.
Okay. So yeah, basically the Black Panthers. They first it was a small organization, and they grew. They were in several states. So I'm not sure if they. I think they started in Chicago, and then they grew all the way from California to California.
Are they still like?
Yeah, they still.
Okay.
We just. Yeah. But shout out to Mr. Fred Hampton Jr. He's the current chairman of the new Black Panthers. But from what I got to summarize the story, Lakeith Stanfield's character William O'Neill, he was about on Wikipedia. He said he was about 17 once because he carjacked. He
was a carjacker,
and he got caught, and he was facing jail time. So instead of jail time, he decided they pressured him into being an informant. Mm-hmm. Now he's young at the time, so he was born in '49. The story takes place in '68. So Wikipedia says 17.
So we don't know, but he was between 17 and 19. That's what we know. He was a teenager, basically.
So he's a young mind. So of course if you push him, he's going to do whatever you say. So if you give him if you give him something, like if you tell him to do something, he's going to just do it, basically. But you could tell throughout the movie, once he got in, that even though he was doing his job, he did have reservations on why he was doing it, and that he kind of gave me an inkling that he wanted to get out, but he didn't. He couldn't get out because he was just too far in. He was just too far
in. Yeah.
Too far in. Fred Hampton, I didn't know he was 21 when he passed, so that he was way too young to pass away. Rest in peace.
It's the way that it happened, but we're gonna get to that later. Oh, should we tell them all? Because that's pretty much telling the movie. Or should we? I mean, like we said, it's spoiler. So if you ain't seen it, then
that
but so should we really wait to put this out to people seen it first?
Listen, we already gave a disclaimer. So
all right, you're right. Go ahead.
So I'm not gonna tell too much story, but I'm just summarizing it.
I mean, if you read the story, you can read what's gonna happen anyway. But it's more. Of course, the movie has some details that might not be on Google, but yeah.
So Roy Mitchell, he worked for the FBI. And he was the one that made William O'Neill the informant, unofficially, because he didn't have anybody underneath him or above him know about it. Mm-hmm. So basically, if he got jammed up, he was going to get jammed up. So he's under the impression that the Black Panthers are terrorists, exactly like the KKK, stuff like that. And like I said, Lakeith's character, William, he was, how can I say, like, in a way, the way they portrayed him, it made it seem like, okay, if you was in this position at this age, what would you do? And I think that's the point that they were trying to make. Even though it's a messed up situation on how it came about and how he got in too deep. But yeah, he has some instances like where they were at the church near the end of the movie, where I forgot what they were yelling at the church, and he was looking at Roy Mitchell in the crowd. And Roy Mitchell kind of figured out, like, okay, he's on my side, but for how long he's going to be on my side for? Mm-hmm. He had his reservations on him. And just like I'll have to read more on the situation, on the story, but it's really heartbreaking for for people who's trying to do so positive. And like Black Panthers, they did not only have just black people, they had our Hispanic brothers, they had, some white, they had Caucasian people in it as well. The Rainbow Coalition. Mm-hmm. So to bring
really, they was about
just
unity.
crazy.
They
It was
really were
unity.
about unity, actually, and they made it seem like they were bad, like the KKK. But the thing is, they don't see nothing wrong with the stuff the KKK did, and I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. But I digress. Go ahead, Mark.
So like it's like so many there's so many like scenes that's in the movie that is still I'm still trying to digest. But
My
yeah.
thing, it's a couple of scenes. You want me to say mine?
Yeah. You go. So I could
So
digest some more.
It's a couple of scenes that that's stuck in my head. It's a couple of times where you saw William O'Neill seem remorseful. Like he seemed a little kind of like, damn, like, like it's times where he really wanted to get out, but he was blackmailed. The guy was like, if you don't do it, how you feel? They gonna think about you being a rat. Like he was gonna snitch on me basically. Then,
Oh yeah, it wasn't they. Fred was about to. He went to jail. He came back, and then he was facing jail time because they denied his.
oh,
They denied his appeal.
They just wanted any reason for him to like be gone. And also another scene that resonated with me was when they had the FBI raid the house. It was only one shot fired from the Black Panther side, and they fired 99 shots. They wasn't even doing anything. They was really like, okay.
They was sleeping.
They was chilling, sleeping. Then guess what? They raided it, shot 99 shots. And when they finally got up and they was like surrendering, they still threw them on the ground and shit like they was fucking animals. It's fucking sad. And guess what else happened? They had him drugged, first of all. So
by William O'Neill.
William O'Neill drugged him
earlier that night.
He was kind of asleep. He was out of it, and they had shot him. And then
they said something. Well,
they shot him kind of in the shoulder, and then he was like, "Oh, he gonna make it." And then they shot him again a couple times, and they was like, "Oh, he good and dead now." That pissed me off because my thing is the man fucking unconscious, bro. Oh, and it's another scene I forgot about.
And his girlfriend at the time was
she was 9 months pregnant.
She was 9 months pregnant, and she was shielding him.
She was shielding him, and she was pregnant, so he wouldn't get shot. And also, she gave birth 25 days after he was killed. And also, another scene I forgot about. One of the other people that were in the Black Panthers, he was trying to protect, I guess, which really this could have been avoided, but he was trying to protect some other people, and I feel like they killed him in the hospital. The cops killed him in the hospital. And I'm just like, you got people like tied to a bed like they insane with belts and shit. I can't. And my thing is, even now to this day, they don't see nothing as being wrong. We're the ones that's wrong. They don't think they do anything wrong. I don't understand. Like, we can plead for equality or just to be treated like humans. But they don't feel like we deserve it. And I don't understand why. I don't get it. We don't be the one acting like crazy people. It be y'all most of the time. Let's go back to what just happened a couple of weeks ago with the riot. Did you see any black people? No.
And if you
did, we didn't even make it to the door. When we did Black Lives Matter and we was just trying to protest peacefully, we didn't even make it to the door. But they made it. They climbed over the walls and shit. And they talking about, we're the animals. Not gonna say that they're animals, but in that moment, you definitely can't say we was. So
people with that mindset, they are scum
I
of the
just
earth.
don't
They're scum of the
fucking
earth.
get
People
it. Because my thing is, we didn't even ask to fucking come to this country. Y'all fucking brought us here. And now y'all telling us go back to where you came from. We didn't fucking ask to come here. You dragged us on a ship. We didn't fucking ask to come here. You dragged us on some stolen land that wasn't even yours anyway. And I know I'm probably going to get backlash for this video because I know people watch these videos that's not black. I get it. Whatever. Say what you got to say. But you know I'm fucking right, ultimately. So whatever. Come for me. But you know it's true. And y'all know y'all not right. Y'all fucking know y'all not right. So
now, like, for people who have
how hard is it to treat?
Yeah.
How hard is it to treat us like humans? Like how hard is that? You sitting up here talking about you don't like us just because we're a different color. How fucking childish is that? Does that make sense to you? But yet you want us to entertain you. You want us to play basketball for you. You want us to play football for you. You want us to fucking entertain you. That's all we good for. Because guess what? If we wasn't here for that, then who would be doing it? Who would you have to steal it from? Nobody. And the world would fucking suck because we fucking dope. Mic drop. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Now that she spoke, like, there was a scene in the movie where Fred was looking through Miss Deborah's journal, and she had her reservations on having a child because not too long before Fred got released, the Black Panther headquarters was shot up and bombed.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's not sure if she going to be a good mother. She's not sure if the baby's going to make it. She's not sure if she's going to be alive. She's not sure if Fred Hampton is going to be alive because of so much that's going on. Now, mind you, again, they are all extremely young at this time. And for them to go what they went through, I applaud them because they didn't have to do that, but they know what's right, and they fought for what was right, and I have no more but the utmost respect for them. The people in the FBI that, not saying everybody in the FBI is bad.
Yeah.
But the people that plotted against Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party,
It's messed up.
we know where you're going.
It's messed up.
We know where you're going.
And that's why I feel like Will O'Neill, the one that was the informant, he said he wasn't guilty. Because he said he didn't feel guilty because he didn't have no alliance to them. But you lived your life in fear after everything happened. And you had to go by an alias. So he ended up killing himself.
In the way, like,
He ran into traffic. But how do we know he really killed himself? How do we know somebody didn't kill him? That he got hit by somebody? How do we not, on purpose, how do we not know that?
That's true.
So my thing is, I was reading on that too. And a lot of people, some people say they feel like he was killed. Because they found out, people found out about it.
Yeah, because they had a special.
But then he did that interview.
Eyes on the Prize.
That's what I'm saying. Then he did that. It came out in '89.
No, 90.
I thought it came out in '89. It came out in '89 before he
Because then it premiered. It said at the end of the movie, it said it premiered January.
Oh, and he died
15th.
the same day. Yeah, the same day.
Yeah, it aired, and then he.
But when he recorded,
committed suicide.
When he recorded, because that don't mean he recorded it the same day.
I know it was '89, but
that's what I'm saying. He recorded it in '89. That's what I meant.
But yeah, that movie, like, it's heavy. It's somewhat heavy. It gets you upset. Especially the whole, like she stated earlier, when he was drugged and he couldn't get up, and they just shot him while he was.
And I just feel like that's some cowardly shit.
And like
that's cowardly shit right there.
And what made it worse
because you have to make a person unconscious. Because you know you fucked up. So they have to be unconscious for you to do anything. All right. It's fucked up. All I'm gonna say is it's fucked up.
It's so yeah. So like I said, the movie was I graded as a 9.5.
I just wish they wouldn't focus so much on. They kind of. You think they focused too much on FBI, or you feel like it was equal?
I think they did focus a lot on it because they were they're the one that ultimately killed him. But yeah, like so, just to, cause I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. But that movie was a really good movie.
It's a suggested watch. We suggest you watch it, educate yourself.
If you had to if you had to listen to this album and then listen to the movie, maybe you do that.
Because I'm gonna start educating myself more because sometimes I don't as much as I should. So I'm gonna start educating myself more before I say things. So I had to read up on the story first before I saw the movie. So I will say it's a must watch, and I suggest you go watch it.
Especially now, it's cold outside in Houston.
Yeah, it's nothing else to do. You're not doing
and
nothing else.
Yeah, so it's like it's nothing else. It's HBO Plus.
What's
Amazon.
that commercial? You're sitting on your couch anyway.
Sit on the couch.
What commercial is that? It's like it's a college commercial, right? You're sitting on your couch anyway. You have nothing to do. Just call. No, ain't it like a college?
College, yeah, it's college.
I don't remember what college it was, but it's true. It's cold. You're gonna be under the cover. Just go ahead. Pop you some popcorn. Whatever.
Yeah.
I would say drink alcohol, but I just read that alcohol makes you lose heat faster. So, don't drink alcohol. Drink some tea. Drink some hot chocolate like me and him gonna do because I'm ready. We got a whole box. We got 2 boxes actually. One with marshmallows, one without marshmallows. So we ready.
So ready.
We ready.
So
we
ready.
got about 5-6 blankets. Some we stocked up with water. I hope everybody is safe out there in Houston, Texas, because it's cold. It's never cold here. So I know you other northern states. I pray for y'all. New York. I know it's fucking cold. Virginia, it's fucking cold. Everybody out there, Antarctica. I know y'all fucking cold all the time. So the only place that's probably not cold is California or Hawaii. Them the only 2 places that's probably not cold. Or Florida. So, but no. Thank you guys for listening, and we plan on keep providing you with this entertainment and information. We're gonna talk about current events more, try to talk about current things more, and keep you guys updated with what's going on, with everything. And don't forget to let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific. Make sure you DM us. Make sure you write us or follow us on our social media platforms, and click the notification bell on YouTube and subscribe. Do all that, like, share, comment, all that, baby. Just get the word out.
Yeah, because we trying to keep y'all entertained. It's fun recording and just giving our thoughts on different subjects. Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, yeah, just stay warm, be safe out there, and y'all have a great day. Great night. Please listen to the album. Let us know what you think. Any standout tracks.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
And your favorite scenes. And like I said, we already told you before, this was a spoiler. So don't get upset by watching this. We love y'all. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.